About Love in the Age of Big Data by Eve Fairbanks. The main point of this article is showing us how the author was looking at the scientific methods of predicting happy relationships, how it came to be, the people behind it and their motivations, and at the end of the day, how she falls in love with the idea after checking it out, even if she was initially skeptic at the beginning. She attributes the success of the work to the consistency of the predictions and how astonishing it was, because it was really really astonishing because of the complexity of human beings to predict those results, and it was also science, so it appealed to the contemporary desire to use empirical data. She also starts us off by explaining some particular parts of the scientific experiment, like for example the word bid here that I have highlighted. She talks about that, and so that readers are not used to this concept to be able to understand it better and flow. And here she also talks about the difference between the olden day and the new day, and how these experiments were useful in the new day because love was more at stake here and people needed to find ways to become happy in this complicated cycle of love and relationships. She also was really skeptical because to her this method boxed people up, as I have highlighted here in purple, and she doesn't believe that if boxing people up would expose people to reality. So if we box them up and we put them with some certain ideals, it's actually not real, and we're not able to really express our feelings that way. And also, she was really annoyed that people were giving up, highlighted in pink here, people were giving up their ideals and Christianity for love from fickle human beings, and we can see her disgust here because of the use of the word fickle human beings. And then she then goes on to understanding why people loved it. Like she went for the conference, she interviewed people as well. And here it says that she wasn't planning on staying for a long time, highlighted in purple here, but she ended up viewing 6 hours of the counseling session in one afternoon transfixed, showing how really interested she was in what was going on and how much she enjoyed it. So her work really presents the truth about this document, and she used various characteristics that help improve nonfiction. For example, the use of litany here, highlighted in blue. The short phrases are very relatable to love and are also easy to understand, and we can draw meaning from them, and it also helps draw the reader in. Also had really good use of scenery and vivid details in this first page and this first paragraph, as the opening is also really important here because it grabs our attention and we can actually go into the story and understand the characteristics of the people behind these methods. So she used some particular words here which I felt showed a bias to how she felt about the work. So using these words, ordinary and real in quotation marks, to me showed cynicism and sarcasm at the experiment and the way it was done. But I felt, well, perhaps it could be my interpretive bias of how the meanings of the quoted words were. So I feel like they're used to show sarcasm based on my past knowledge, and I felt that was what she was trying to convey initially in the story about how she didn't like the use of these scientific methods for love. And also in this particular dicey part, where she could have not. So in this part, this technique was based on personal experience. If she wanted to bias it to favor the fact that the scientific methods were good, she would have not put it at all. Or if she wanted to say they were bad, she would have highlighted the fact that using those personal factors creates a bias and creates subjectivity in the work instead of objectivity, which I felt. And I also think that to me is an interpretive bias on my part, because it could also be the other way. People can see it as more relatable just because of the human factors involved in it. And the use of this word in this paragraph, I suspect it actually puts relationships under a kind of pressure. I highlighted it. It shows that she was trying to avoid bias here, or putting her opinions in the minds of the readers. So by using the word suspect, she's like saying, oh, this is my own opinion. you don't necessarily have to take it and it doesn't necessarily have to affect you. So, apart from the other interpretive biases I have mentioned, the beginning of the article, the title, Love in the Age of Big Data, it made me think, based on past knowledge, that this article was going to be about how new technology has ruined relationships, because when I see these words, I associate it with technology and love and how it has been ruined. And also the ending, about how the ending was contradictory to the whole beginning. The whole beginning was more sarcastic and more, I don't believe in this, and the ending was more, this is a really good sign, we should accept it, was contradictory to me, and I interpreted it as confusing. After I recognized this, I tried to reduce the effects by looking at this from other points of views and trying to get the context to understand this better. So from my context, I understood that people were drawn to the work, the scientific methods, because of the accuracy of the predictions, and also because it helps them connect to strangers, so it was a broader application. And also, the ending that seemed contradictory, I went to read her biography and I understood better that she did that because she loved looking at how people's mindset changed. And so she probably wanted to document how that happened to her in this scenario using nonfiction.